I am indeed alive. Kinda. I fell asleep. I took a nap.
But not alive.
Hi, Jules. Yes, I took a nap. You know, these people act like they've never had a nap before.
Just blame it on the Eclipse.
I should blame it on the Eclipse. Instead, I'm going to blame it on gummy bears. By the way, how is it that nobody told me that eating a half a bag of these was going to destroy my life? Griffin.
Well, that's dramatic.
I have been married to the bathroom for the last 4 days.
The sugar-free gummy bears. Hello, where have you been?
Yeah, are they the sugar-free ones?
I don't know. Are they sugar-free?
Well, based on your toilet adventure, I would say yes. And that is not new information. And nobody should be surprised that the cat took a catnap, okay, chat? Come on.
It's been, first of all, I have been... Is it gross to say that I have literally pooped my guts out? Y'all watch
It's a litter box. We can talk about litter
Y'all watched
activities.
me just shovel these in last Thursday. You literally watched me just eating fistfuls of these. Who? Why didn't anybody say anything?
There's no greater laxative than a sugar-free gummy bear, DJ. Now you know.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Good evening. Welcome in, everybody. Yes, what about the podcast? We will begin it very shortly. I wanted to get started tonight. I really just came out and we needed to go quickly, right? We needed to go quick. So here we are. And we'll get everything ready to go here in just a moment, Griffin. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. Enjoy some face melting, huh? Thank you. Oh, I'm kind of digging that. Good evening, everybody.
That's a good track.
Welcome in to the show. Appreciate it. Let's say some hellos. We are going to record a podcast. Griffin is here. Griffin, good evening to you. Are you ready with your magical podcast fingers?
Happy Monday. I am podcast ready to go. I did not take a cat nap, but
I did.
You know, I'm not a kitty cat, so I don't need one.
It was me. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. Thank you so very, very much.
A lot of cheers and applause after we start covering this Arcfall coming up, DJs. What do you think?
Do you actually think? I think so. I feel cautiously optimistic.
I do as well. I detect a lot of quality on our way.
I wouldn't go that far. We're going to see. The PvP guys like it. The PvE guys hate it. QWERTY, I'm going to tell you why it's not going to matter. I'm going to tell you exactly why it's not going to matter. This is going to be the easiest feature you've ever played in. The War Room. We're going to talk about that. We're going to bring it up. We're going to check in with my boy Logan. We're going to take a look at some math. We're going to take a look at some numbers. We're going to take a look. QWERTY says, I've seen people decide to quit the game over this. Well, then they're fair weather fans. Okay? Fair weather fans.
And they will be back when they figure out how easy this is and how little participation they actually need to do themselves, depending on their alliance.
This is really this is not a reason to quit the game. It's just another, you know what? I'm going to look at it as almost like another battle pass, except not really. That's what it is. Except it's going to be an alliance battle pass. Call it that. It's an alliance battle pass. That's how we're setting it up.
I'm just going to say that if anyone quits the game over an Arcfall before it's even happened, they were going to quit anyways.
That's probably true. We see this all the time. People are like, and then.
And if you're thinking about taking the month off for this feature, you're going to miss out on a heck of a lot of actual efficiencies that may make your gameplay a whole lot easier.
True that. Let's actually say hello this evening and a few warm welcomes. Let me say hello to Putz. What's going on, Putz? How you doing? Putz, thank you for the 19-month resub. Louis P with the 20-month resub. Chris, son of Max, 17 months. Mechrack for 24 months on the resub. Thank you. The HRM Moose, 9 months on the resub. Gray Sabers, thank you for the 8-month resub. Freelancer dropping 200 kitty bitties into the chat. Subtle Abyss with the 22-month resub. Simpy with a 13-month resub. Thank you. Plain Simple Garrick dropping 24 months in. Let's see. Thank you for that resub. Prime Rex with the 15-month resub. Silver Tab with the 4-month resub. Al Scooter. Al Scouter. It's Scouter. Thank you for the new follow. Appreciate you being here. What's up, my man? How you doing? I gotta fix something here, Griffin. I forgot to here, fix that. Boom. Okay. You guys are still going crazy over in the chat. You're doing a hype train. You did a
We're
hype
on a
train.
level 6, and there's now 20 new subs out there who can't quit this month because they're sub for free.
How you
You're
doing,
welcome.
Al Scouter? Just Q with the 24-month resub. Canine Tooth with the 24-month resub. Indominus Prime with 100 kitty bitties. Spectre with the 17-month resub. Q dropping 25 kitty bitties. Wilson with 100 kitty bitties. Rev Deuce. Rev Deuce raid again with a big old stinky raid. Good evening, all you Rev Deucians. Griffin dropping 20 gifted subs. Daggone, 20 gifted subs into the chat. Thank you so very much for your generous donation of 20 gifted subs. Also, Alan with a 22-month resub. Intimidator with the 12-month resub. Lord of Scare with the 16-month resub. Fubar and Ballin Gaming, thank you for the new follow. Surge with the 24-month resub. And Dominus Prime hooking up with 5 gifted subs in the chat. Brian Av with the 22-month resub. Mistress with the 100 kitty bitties. Thank you. You guys, man, you're crazy. Moopsy dropping 10 gifted subs. What is happening? Mr. Ben, thank you for the follow. Ice Wolf with the 5 kitty bitties. Thank you so very much. Mr. Sabayham, 100 kitty bitties. Balabon with 100 kitty bitties. Devil Panda with the 21-month resub. And Rose Taco, thanks for the follow. Griffin with the 3-stream streak. Appreciate it very much. What craziness. Is this what happens when I take a nap and I show up late to my own show?
Maybe you're still asleep.
Maybe I should do this more. Divine says someone said cruise entries. You know that's true.
That's right. That's right. I need to win this so I have a second room to go to in case you keep snoring all night long again.
I snore, Griffin? What? I thought the ship was sinking, and I turned over, and it was just you cutting a log. Hold on. I promise you, next year, you're going to get a sleep stream from Griffin. Okay? It ain't going to be me. You'll get a sleep stream from Griffin, and you're snoring. I snore. Just in case anybody was, okay. Is the cat gone for good? No, Evil Rufus. First of all, tonight, I kind of just rushed to get out here. But that being said, I'm going to record the ARC preview, the ARC Fall video in cat. I will.
What? Wait, you haven't recorded it yet? It's 10:30 at night, man.
I took a nap, dude.
Oh, I thought you took a nap after you recorded the cat. I'm never getting to sleep tonight.
I fell asleep. I legit fell asleep. I'm sorry. All right, anyway. With the nap, I'll be good till maintenance. No, I got to work tomorrow. Everything's fine. Moopsy, thank you for continuing your sub from the gifted sub to a tier 1. Appreciate that very much. Madam Stargazer for the 13-month resub. Captain Palmer with the 19-month resub. Good evening. Allow me to melt your faces. Thank you guys for the level 7 hype train. Let me see your hearts. Let me see your dubs. Let me see your hype in chat. Griffin dropping another 20 gifted. Beck likes plants. Madam Plantsident, Beck is here.
All rise for the Plantsident.
Brian dropping a gifted sub into the chat. I should remind you Exclamation point cruise. Exclamation point cruise will get you your official rules on how you can enter every gift. Every gifted sub, every Prime sub, every recipient of a gifted sub, every Tier 1, 2, and 3, every Patreon membership are all entered. So, Griffin, with his extremely generous 40 dropped subs tonight, hooking up with 80 entries into the cruise giveaway contest.
I'm winning.
That's right. Falcon Paul says, yo, someone want to gift me a sub? It's good for an entry into the cruise and good for 2 of them. That's right, Beck. Every gifted sub is good for 2 entries for the gifter and 1 for the recipient. Isn't that crazy?
So crazy.
So crazy, Beck. Good evening. Welcome to the stage. Beck is here. I don't want to actually flip all the way around because I'll tie myself up in cords. Moopsy says, I already have a room. Should I get the second one? Sure, why not? The more rooms, the better, right? I mean, I'm just saying. I heard Madam Planson and Beck needs a room. Just saying.
If I had 2 rooms, I would just keep bringing food down from the Windjammer into the second room, and I'd make my own Windjammer.
That actually sounds brilliant. I love it. Mistress of Mayhem hooking up with 4 bonus entries by giving out 2 community subs. Thank you, Mistress. Master Viper with the 15-month resub. Moopsy dropping 10 gifted subs. Good for 20 entries into our cruise sweepstakes. K.A. Knowledge dropping a gifted sub. Thank you. Forgetting Sec with the 19-month resub. Thank you. Don Zeno, good evening. Mad Mel, good evening. Medic, good evening. JM Cosmo dropping a gifted sub into the chat as well. Thank you guys so very much. Crushing it with the 21-month resub. You guys are crazy tonight. Look at you. Listen, the screen hasn't updated yet, but if you take a look over here up in the top portion of your screen, we do also have our daily stream goal. I reset that. And don't forget, if we hit that, then we'll give away 10 bonus entries into the sweepstakes as well. 10 winners.
DJz, this just in, those overlays are not turned on. That is all.
What do you mean they're not turned on?
They're not visible on Twitch.
Yeah, huh? They're on my screen. Let me turn it off and back on. Yeah, they're there, you silly goose. Now you got me freaking out.
There they are now.
Now you got me freaking out. Oh, okay. You had me what? Paused.
I had you cropped. I was giving you a haircut.
Good evening to you. What's up, Zero? What's up, LFC Fox fan? What's up, Divine? Mistress of Mayhem, Falcon Paul. Thank you, Mistress, for the 100 kitty bitties. Thank you so very much. Good evening, everybody. What's going on? All right. Envenadio with the 10 stream streak. You are crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Thank you. Oh, you digging the swag? 867. This is nice. Griffin and I got this for the cruise, and it was very, very nice. And Dragon
Very
Keeper says,
comfy polo. Yeah, and you too can own one on the UltimatDJz Play shop.
that's right. Go to, what is it? TalkingTrekSTFC.com and click on merch. Dragon Keeper says, oh my gosh, why is it so late? In all fairness, dude, I actually fell asleep. I took a nap. So I was doing math homework with Oliver DJs, and it stressed out my brain. I fell asleep and took a nap.
It stressed out your brain. What grade is Oliver in? Isn't he in like first grade?
He's in the 3rd grade.
And that was stressful?
There was a lot of homework. And yes.
Oh man, your brain is now atrophying now that you're no longer in finance. You can't do math anymore.
No, Kronos is right. New math is dumb.
Okay, it is weird with the charts and the circles and the 3. I mean, come on.
Dude, new math is so weird. All right, so it's kind of, yes, AJ, it messed me up. So then I laid down, I took a little bit of a nap, And then I woke up, and it was 10 minutes after 10. Whoopsie.
JV Beckman, math is not math. Not if you go find a kid and ask him to divide, even to subtract or add 90 from 60, and watch the hieroglyphics they draw on the paper before they come up with their answer, and the circles and the arrows, and I mean it's nuts.
It is kind of ridiculous. So what he was working on tonight was something called transitive math.
Oh,
which is they're like equations were for us, right? Like you have one side of the equation equals the other side of the equation, but they're teaching them transitive properties or something. Why is there an ad break? Aren't we still in a hype train?
I realize that you are brand new to streaming, but Twitch now runs ads if you don't push the button after about 5 minutes.
I thought it wouldn't run when we're in a hype train.
Well, hold on there, because it says on mine that the ads are snoozed for 5 minutes automatically. I don't think you're in an ad break.
Mine says ads in progress. Good evening, Moopsy with another 10 gifted subs. Radio Dad dropping a gifted sub. Player 1 dropping 5 gifted subs. Cottontail with the resub. Elder Roku dropping a gifted sub. Man, you guys are after these cruise entries,
10
aren't you?
seconds for the level 9. We got it. We're on a level 10.
Griffin with another 20. Oh!
Screw you, commercials. Nobody watches commercials tonight.
Nobody's getting commercials tonight. Hey, what's up? Madam Plancident Beck here for the celebration of Artfall Eve. Good evening, Miss Beck. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Where are you calling us from tonight? I heard that you were traveling again. Are you traveling again?
I'm in Florida.
You're in Florida. Okay. So, yeah, basically traveling again. My understanding is you're visiting family this week? Oh.
I am. Yeah. I'm spending a few days here and a few days in Kansas City to see the rest of them.
Kansas City?
Kansas
City. It's exciting. Well, appreciate you being here. That's right. Did you not get to see the total eclipse today?
No, I did not. In fact, not seeing it broke my heart. Almost like I had a total eclipse of the heart.
Oh man, did it last 4 minutes and 30 seconds?
Oh God, where's my new trombone thing? Did you ever send that to me, Griffin? No. New trombone sound. Good. I got to see. I didn't get to see totality either because I didn't leave work. But I did. I mean, where I was, I got to see probably like 90%, 85%. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Okay, let me ask a quick question. For those of you medical nerds out there. Is it just as safe, these tiny little thin 3D looking glass things that people were using, right? That's what people were using to look at the sun today. And I got told that looking at the sun in a welding mask was a bad idea. Now, you guys were using little paper-thin 3D glasses. I used a welding helmet, and I got scolded. Please tell me.
DJz, a welding helmet may not be darkly tinted.
It was very darkly tinted.
Well, not as much as those super dark glasses
that are made out of paper.
DJ, if you put those on inside, you're going to run right into a wall.
A welding helmet is fine.
The thing about
AJ,
welding helmet is if it has a shade that goes dark enough. There are some welding glasses that are not made for very bright lights, so you have to kind of like make sure that it can go.
I mean, I didn't sit there and stare at it for an hour either. However, I was using a welding helmet. I feel like it was probably dark enough because I was looking right at the sun, and it was a super dark green mask. So like everything had like a green tint.
Well, let me ask you this, DJ.
I guess I'm fine.
When you blink 3 times in succession, do you see a big round circle in the middle of your field of view?
No, my eyes are completely
Then you're fine.
I feel like my eyes are fine. Did in fact actually get a headache, but it was fine after that. It was good. So yeah, Medic says a helmet for welding was probably okay. Neelix says 16 green or darker. It was green. I don't know what 16 means, but it was very green.
There are a lot of welding experts in this chat.
I was
this
surprised
is a
about
very
that.
disproportionate amount of welders.
This is good. This is good. I'm glad you guys are here to teach me about welding. Data, thank you for the 20-month resub. Logo Bolus with the 20 gifted subs, going for them 40 extra bonus entries. Mech Rack for another 5 gifted subs. Thank you so very much. Kinky Jesus with a gifted sub. Mistress of Mayhem with a gifted sub. Hero with the resub, 15 months. Thank you so very, very much. Beck, it seems like the community is in full excitement, in full swing, trying to get entered for our Star Trek The Cruise 8 sweepstakes. It's kind of exciting.
As they
isn't it?
should.
As they should.
Yeah.
I can tell you what, to celebrate Arkfall Eve tonight, Madam Planson and Beck, if you're going to be with us for a little bit, Madam Planson and Beck will be playing, by the way, we didn't plan this at all, so if she says no or dips, then nothing I can really do about it. But there could be a game of strip club or daycare in her future in which we will award the community bonus entries into Star Trek The Cruise sweepstakes. Are you in?
I've actually never played it.
Oh,
I've watched
You're
you.
gonna love it. I bet you she's good at it, too.
play it.
oh, this is going to be great. All
I've
right.
definitely watched you play it.
You have watched us play?
One time with Echo, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Very, very exciting stuff there. So, and I do want to thank everyone from Rev's channel who came over to hang out. I am sorry I'm running late to my own community. Appreciate you guys. However, we've got a lot of stuff to get into tonight. And Griffin, what we're going to do in a true, fair, and exciting way, just the way I promised, as soon as our hype train is over, then we're going to turn off the music. We'll leave alerts on. I feel like that is not invasive, Beck. And we will begin taping our actual podcast. All right. And the way I think that's good
great.
compromise. Okay.
That's the fair compromise.
Yes.
I am shocked that we are still on our hype train. Level 11 DJs. We
I know.
just crossed over that threshold.
That is
and
kind
still
of
going
crazy.
strong.
Level 11, 90 seconds are on the clock. You guys are crazy generous. Thank you. Sin to the Dark says thank you for what you do for the community. What, keep them on the edge of their seats on pins and needles for an hour and a half while I took a nap? I was supposed to be on the air at 8:30. Or maybe it was 9. Am I only an hour late?
No, you're like 2 hours late. And Wolfwood did call it. I got to give props to Wolfwood. He did call napping like 2 hours ago. So.
I did. I fell asleep and just took a nap. IJ, thank you for the juicy fart. Appreciate that. That's disgusting. When does the podcast start, Hammer? As soon as the hype train ends, we will start our podcast. Okay? Texas Guy dropping 5 gifted subs. Thank you. Cosmo dropping a gifted sub. Mistress of Mayhem dropping Lord Neelix a gifted sub, picking up on those 2 bonus entries. Thank you guys so very much. Your generosity is insane tonight. I have data. Jules, we have pretty charts, don't we?
We do.
We do have pretty charts and expert analysis on what the new consolidation is going to look like. And Jules, let me just ask, while we still got about 20 seconds left on the hype train, before we start taping the podcast, just throw it out there. Should players believe that this month's consolidation is better than last month's consolidation? Because in my mind, the answer
hands
is
down.
yes.
Hands down better.
Hands
I
down
think
better.
no, we're going to compare this. We're going to be comparing this to freebooters.
Whoa.
Can
Whoa,
it achieve
whoa.
free-
We're comparing it to freebooters? You can't be
It's
serious.
a question.
Can't
It's a
be
question mark.
serious. Oh, boy.
What
Well,
a
guys,
cliffhanger to start the podcast on right there.
Very, very exciting. Guys, I would like to say good evening. Welcome in. My name is UltimatDJz as we are coming off the tail end of a ridiculous hype train on our Twitch simulcast. Thank you for the level 11. You guys are absolutely insane. May I ask you guys to throw all of your newly acquired hype, all of the fresh hype into the chat as we play this face-melting opening music to our podcast audience. Good evening to you one and all. Let me see all of your hype here on an Arkfall Eve. Good evening to you, everybody, one and all. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, looking at all of this beautiful and wonderful hype in the chat. Could it actually be that you guys are excited for the upcoming April arc, the launch of Strange New Worlds Part 2? I am UltimatDJz, your friendly neighborhood cat person, saying good evening to you. Welcome into the show. 867 says, how does DJ get all these tunes? I feel like I'm back clubbing out again. I know. I love it. I love it. It feels great, doesn't it? King Gohan says, I want my war room. And I can see Hammy lying somewhere and just kind of weeping tears of PvE sadness. Good evening to my stage and my wonderful panel of guests. Thank you so very much. Everywhere It Matters is on the stage. Good evening to you, Matters. How you doing?
Doing great, DJ. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jules Verne is here. Jules Verne is here with Pretty Charts. Jules, good evening to you.
Pretty charts and pretty babies.
Pretty Charts and Pretty Babies also gracing our stage. Ladies and gentlemen, assistant, co-host, and executive video producer of all the things, Griffin is here. Good evening to you, Griffin.
Quality.
And ladies and gentlemen, perhaps the most surprising and the most VIP of all guests, ladies and gentlemen, Beck Likes Plants is here. Good evening to you.
Hello.
She is
No,
here.
I just one of these days I want to find my own intro music. That is my dream, my goal. One day I will find a quality song.
Quality.
I love that. You do have, if I'm not mistaken, I just didn't do it at this particular moment, but I could. We have intro music for you, don't we, Griffin? We've got it. Let me see if we can find it here.
I believe so. Yeah.
Where are the sounds for intro?
But I don't think I chose mine. I think everybody else chose theirs. But
You
I
know,
did
that
not.
is actually true. Echo chose his. Blue chose theirs. Jules chose his. I mean, yeah.
Hammy chose theirs.
Hammy chose. That is true. So, Beck, what would you like?
People just speaking for nobody's ever asked me that before. Now I have to think about
Oh
it.
my gosh, Beck, can I?
Shut up, Tarkin.
It should be.
Actually, it should be. It should be that just the cowbell
Tarkin,
sound.
shut the hell up! All right, I'm gonna have to do that one live for a minute or two until I actually pull that out of a clip. But good evening, thank
that
you.
was so good.
If you guys don't know what Beck is talking about, head on over to our Patreon, where it is now free. You do not have to pay. Let me be very clear. Patreon is not just about paying. It's like another kind of medium like YouTube or Twitch. We post bonus content there, and you do not need to pay for it. Let me be clear. We love it is a method for us to gain support on our channel, Beck. It is from Patreon, but you do not have to pay. You can follow the channel. You can join our community there. Absolutely free. And what Beck is talking about is our bonus material content from the last show, where Beck read us. Thank you, Papa Smurf. Beck was reading us Klingon love poetry, and Karkin was just making a ton of noise in the background. All right. And
He was doing dishes and playing a bagpipe.
I wouldn't say it was a ton of noise.
it was the most inopportune noise. All right. In which I was being wooed by Madam Plantanet Beck, and then it was just ruined by the sound of Karkin dropping dishes. All
It was
right.
insensitive and it showed his disinterest.
Okay.
Yeah.
But compared to Spotify, who did you wrong more?
Compared to what?
Compared to Spotify.
Who did me wrong more? Spotify definitely screwed me up, and that was also in that. It was very, very funny. So, Meal says no Discord. No Discord at the moment. Just because I was trying to rush and get everything together. But we are recording for podcasts, and it will be up in podcast as soon as this show is over. Lots of different mediums for us. Lots of ways for us to publish our content. I thank you guys for consuming all of them. Thank you so much. Morpheus, have a wonderful sleep. Appreciate you very much. WowCell, thank you for the 18-month resub. What is new this month? Well, we might as well go ahead and jump into it. There is a lot new. Beck Likes Plants is here. And in a slightly different turn this month, you did not record the Arcfall video this month. We had one of our absolutely favorite arc runners coming right out the gate and saying, yo, everybody, it's me. I'm Logan, and I'm one of your favorites, and I'm here to release the Arcfall. Tell me a little bit about the Arcfall video. Is there something else in store? Are we being surprised with a Beck video coming up later? Or did Logan have to come out and say, yo, I love what you've been doing, and I want to do it now?
You know, it's funny. Several months ago, because Logan's done a video with us before.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he's one of the few. And the first time I saw him do a video, I thought to myself, man, I need to learn how to be him. So I started, I said, no, you know, it's AJ Dog, that animation was free. My best friend did that. No, but he did a video one time, and I thought, wow, you're so expressive. I need to learn how to be like you. So then I started to try to not look as dead. And we're getting there, we're getting there. But then Logan comes back, he does another video, and he makes me look bad again. And I just, man, yeah. So all that to say, another one's coming, just less enthusiastic. It's no Logan.
Gotcha. Well, Logan is, community, one of your favorite arc runners. Just in case you don't remember or don't know, he has delivered some of the arcs that have been historically rated higher than most of the other arcs. He is one of your favorites. And back getting a little bit of insight into Logan, he's also one of the most senior guys there. He's been there, I think, the second or third longest of the entire live ops team. He's written probably a half a dozen arcs for us, maybe more at this point. He is in tune with you guys. He watches the Discords. He is here in our Discord. He is all over. He spends time in official. This guy is totally tied into the community. As a matter of fact, he is so in tune with stuff that the community has asked that he has also, I don't know if we should go this far into it, Beck, but he was also one of the ops guys who pioneered and led the charge when it came to writing some of these new automation tools that are being used in live ops for rewards. Now, I know that there has been a hiccup here or there, but Griffin, we actually talked about this a month or two ago, how we've seen far fewer errors when it comes to event rewards, right? Like, we still see one here or there. I think we actually had one for Flash Pass here just a couple of days ago where Ops 42 through 45 had a typo. But that kind of thing happens very, very much less frequently than it used to. And that's because Logan actually was leading the charge into building some of this automation. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, Beck, built some of it himself. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's public knowledge, but
whoops. Okay.
Here we go again.
Okay, and we're off. All right, let's go. All right.
All right, let's just end show, scrap, re-record. Let's do the intro again.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. No, in all seriousness, all that to say is that Logan is a true player advocate. And he sits over inside that office in Culver City, and I've seen it. I've been there, and I've seen him. I enjoy hanging out with him, and he has, in fact, worked very, very hard for the community in more ways than we know. And he is this month's arc runner, and I can't think of anybody better to run this month than the brand new PvP-centric War Room. Now, I know, Beck, some people are kind of freaking out about this. Oh, my gosh, a whole thing about PvP. I don't like PvP. I'm a miner. That doesn't really seem to be a concern, at least not with the stuff that I'm looking at first. So why don't we take just a moment and let's start by taking a look at Scopely's newest preview video with Logan as we take a quick peek inside this month's new feature called the War Room. Let's hop on over to our screen and take a listen. Yes, quick, Berlin.
Introducing the War Room.
Hi, Logan.
Blah!
All right, and for the record,
Commanders.
we're gonna do this just like we do Beck's video. We're gonna run through this thing. We're gonna take it apart. We're gonna pause it a gazillion times. We're gonna do the exact same thing. First of all, let me just say, I dig the hair. Okay, for those of you in podcast form, and you might not have a chance to come back and watch this video yet, we've got some beautiful red hair here. For some reason, I did not know he had red hair, but that's very red hair. Yo, what's up, Logan? He's gonna love this. Shy-Tan says, "Oh yay, 50 minutes to watch a 2-minute video." You guys knew that's what we do here. That's what happens on Arc Fall Eve. All right, that's right, Sanguinator. Death to the man bun. He is wild, crazy Klingon blood, and he's out there. Okay, Kapla. Thesifer says, "Isn't that blonde?" I don't think that's blonde. I don't think
He's
that's
not blonde.
No, that's not blonde.
I don't know if I'd call it red.
It looks red.
But it's definitely like an auburn. I mean, we don't need to talk about Logan's hair.
All right, fine.
Anybody listening to this is going to be like, why are they talking about his hair?
That is clearly a caramel colored hair with sun-kissed highlights and lowlights, DJ.
I mean,
It's
clearly.
definitely got some red in there, you know.
There
but
is red
I
in
don't know
there,
if it's
okay?
red.
We're going to spend the next 15
Yeah.
minutes talking about what red hair looks like, all right?
Stop everything.
Oh
We need to set up a poll. Stop everything.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Anywho, let's continue on here, okay? He's talking about the brand new War Room feature, and I will say Logan is a big fan of the Klingon Empire. As a matter of fact, it was kind of funny last week when we had Hammy on, who was talking about who's the worst faction and why is it the Klingons. I just felt Logan have a conniption at that particular point.
I thought
so.
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Klingon fan, but I wouldn't have said it the way he did.
Oh, Hammy was very in your face about it. He was unabashed. All right. So let's talk about this War Room, and we'll continue on with this month's Arc Runner, Logan.
As you know, there are many possible courses through the galaxy, but for Klingons, that path is the way of the warrior. For Update 65, it's about time you read up on the laws of honor and the teachings of Kahless. The War Room is a new Alliance PvP-focused building coming to Star Trek Fleet Command, promising powerful buffs, new PvP opportunities and gameplay, and a myriad of scaling rewards.
All right, I wanna take a quick pause here and talk about this, okay? Lango says, wait, back up. We get told who the Arc Runners are now. Lego, that is if the Arc Runner wills it to be. Okay.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
That's
yeah.
Not all of them like to be forward facing, front facing. Logan is I mean, he's a trifecta, big fan of Community, the game, and Trek. So he's a little bit easier to wrangle.
He loves to come out. He loves hanging out with you guys. Every time we're in Los Angeles, he loves to come out and participate in the show. So yeah, he is brave, but I'll also tell you, he has been given quite a bit of confidence from you guys. Okay, he's been given quite a lot of confidence from you guys because he has written some of your favorite arcs historically. So Eugene says, "Are you telling me?"
Meanwhile, the Assault's Arc Runner is still in witness protection. Thanks, community.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I also want to remind you, Eugene says, "Are you telling me that we don't get to know who the Xindi Armada's Arc Runner was?" You got to remember, there's a difference between live ops and features. Okay, live ops has nothing to do with the feature. As a matter of fact, Logan this month coming out has historically created some of the more creative and exciting events, but Logan did not write the War Room. All right, he just gets to represent it. So that being said, do keep in mind what the difference is between what a feature that comes from game design is and the events that come from live ops that support the feature. So I would like to come in here and obviously compliment the art. on the War Room. It is kind of really, there's already an ad thing happening on Twitch. What is that? Griffin? What is that? Anyway, the art on the Klingon War Room, I kind of like this. And he talked about the powerful buffs that come as a result. And I wanted to take just a second and talk about what are those buffs? What are we talking about here, Griffin? Well, a couple of the items that you may see on your screen, and we're actually going to post some of this stuff up in our graphics room a little bit later. But some of the stuff that we're going to see as a result here with the War Room, as you can see on your screen, and I'm going to take a quick little screenshot of this for our podcast audience. The biggest one that I wanted to point out here, Griffin, is isolytic damage. Okay? Isolytic damage, that is what I personally am kind of excited about with this building. Now, there are other things that are going to come as a result of this building, and we're going to talk about how it is going to play out throughout the entire arc. But some of these buffs are going to have to do with actual combat-based abilities. And one of the ones that I actually really like is the isolytic damage, all right? Isolytic is becoming, even though Scopely might have flooded the game with it a little bit, I think that isolytic is becoming a little bit more important. As a matter of fact, I will also point out that I've been telling you for the last couple of months that dual generators were going to come into play. And I know that Scopely took an extra month or two on these hostels, but there are, this month, going to be hostels that do indeed throw isolytic damage. They will also only be able to be defeated by isolytic damage. All right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Isolytic defense, isolytic offense, those are going to be required this month. And Everywhere It Matters says, only challenge accepted. Spectre says, oof. Count DeVille says, ooh, sounds interesting. Wait a second. Beck,
We didn't do it.
Yeah.
hold on a second. Have we not released all of this information yet?
I gave you exactly what we're talking about.
Okay. All right, hang on. Let me see if I can find those notes. Hold on. I've got notes about what I'm allowed to talk about. Let me see.
Please hold
It
while
is
we review the notes. Please stand by.
I'm
is-
looking
It
at my
is
notes.
penned. You've been tagged a few times.
Oh, so I can't talk about the new hostel. Okay, got it. We're just going to skip that part then. War
Okay.
Room. On to the War Room.
Rewards. Collect resources, materials, ship parts, emblems of honor for upgrading your war room, and work your way towards the exclusive Tactical Warmonger research. Once constructed, the War Room provides fleet-wide bonuses to shield health, officer stats, and isolytic damage, and we'll put those numbers up here.
I want to put those numbers in the Discord as well, because these are some significantly impressively large statistics, Griffin, if you want to call them that. These numbers look kind of ridiculous. Now, again, I was just pointing out, and again, looking in the graphics room, if you guys are in podcast form, I've got all this stuff going into the graphics room. Dragon Keeper says, I don't know if this feels a little more like watered down copy paste. And I could almost agree with you in that these three statistics areas are not new researches, okay? These are not new researches. However, again, I am going to come back. Now, Putt says big numbers, big inflation. I want to be super clear about something. We cannot be fussy about this. This is our own creation. This is our own demand, okay? When we talk about buffs that scale, all right, we're talking about buffs that are net impactful, Griffin, because there are a lot of things that are already for example, officer stats. There's a lot of those researches that already exist in the game. Okay,
That's true, but none of them go up to 2,250%.
Well, that's true. okay? When we talk about things that we want to see a net impact on, this, I believe, is Scopely's effort in doing that, okay? Now, Dragon Keeper says, when did we ever ask for a PvP building? That's not what I'm referring to specifically. What I'm referring to specifically are the buffs that are coming and the fact that they scale to a point that is, in fact, relevant for all players. Now, what this actually does, and we'll talk a little bit more about this on a later podcast. Jules, what does it actually do to a relatively new player? What does it do when a buff is 2,250%?
I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
It's a big deal. But this is going to be level 70 of a building.
Of course it is. But I also want to point out,
we need to know what level 20 of the building is actually going to be for us to really
let's pretend that level 20 is 500%. Okay? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Okay? I don't know. But even at 500%, as that compares to previous research in the game, this also, and I'm not fussy about this, I don't think, this also pushes new players even to engage in the new content, making it much more valuable than old content, I believe, is where I'm trying to drive with this, Jules. The fact that there are researches out there where 10 levels of a research would give you 100% officer stats. Now you've got this building, right? This prioritizes some of the new content and allows players a larger jumpstart in catching up or closing the gap for players who engage in the new content versus going back and catching up on the old stuff. Yeah, true.
Well, if we compare this to other buildings that have similar buffs, the Artifact Gallery has a shield health bonus, the Mess Hall has officer stat bonus, then we notice that it's either 50 to 100% more. So if we're looking at, let's say, level 20, you're looking at a shield health bonus of 300%. That's pretty sizable to a lower ops player.
Absolutely.
With the mess hall probably more players are going to be a little bit higher because that building off goes to a level 100. So they may be at 40 or 50. Now we're looking at officer stat bonus of 300 to 400%. Again, very impactful for a lower ops player. So I think that, yes, these are great. And isolytic damage in a building.
That's right.
Wow.
And that was exactly what Matters just put into the chat, is that no building has isolytic boosts until now. This building, artifact free, will now give you an opportunity to increase your isolytic damage. Lango says, look, I'm kind of on the side of things that says at least Scopely is creating challenges in new arcs. The hostels are challenging. Most players want the mind-numbing stuff. I like challenging new hostels that provide a puzzle in trying to kill them because it's not mind-numbing. Divine says, is this isolytic cascade? No, Divine. This is isolytic damage. It will be up to you to still provide your own cascade bonus, okay? So this is providing extra isolytic damage, just like some of those other artifacts are. You're still going to want Janeway. You're still going to want your isolytic officers like Data, Anti-Data. You're going to want those guys to come in and offer additional isolytic cascade, okay? That's right. Bring your own cascade. And maybe checking the notes as to what I'm allowed to talk about.
Oh, please hold.
Okay. Yeah, see, I cannot tell you at this time if there are going to be. No, I'm okay. I'm not allowed to talk about the officers today. So there could be more to come with that. All right. Divine says, wouldn't Cascade triple it? No, Cascade doesn't triple it, but it does kind of multiply it in by itself. Let's pretend, for example, that you've got, I don't know, Jules, what's a fair number? 20% Cascade? Is that a fair number, 20% Cascade? The limit in leveling the building, it is a level 70 building. It is ops locked, all right? It is ops locked, and it is a level 70 building, okay? I know, Sangwood Otter, I just leaked that there's going to be officers. Take on it! Shoot! Sorry, Beck. There's going to be officers.
We'll talk.
You know what?
Put it in her report.
It would be the weirdest thing. It would be the weirdest thing if there weren't officers. Can you imagine what the community would do if there was actually a month with no officers? Would you guys like that or not like that? I'm just throwing it out there. Me personally, if there was a substitution in there that was really cool, I could probably go with a month without officers. Just saying. I know, leak confirmed. There's going to be officers. All right. So 3 new buildings, no officers. No. Yeah, maybe revisiting other officers. I don't know. Bubba didn't used to like that. He didn't like revisiting officers. Anyway, all I'm saying is that there could be officers this month. I mean, would it make sense? I've already said too much. Let's continue.
Yeah.
The tactical warmonger research is also extremely powerful in PvP combat, increasing your base damage against players by 600%.
What? All right, now this is where people are going to start to get freaky, okay? This is where people are going to start to freak out, Beck, because we have new research in the game. Tactical warmonger research. This is what you guys are going to be looking for. One of the new researches this month that will increase your PvP damage 600% at its base. Okay, 600% all the way up to 3,000%. All right. Count DeVille says, is this a research or a prime research? Please hold.
Oh, hold on.
It is not a prime. It is not a prime. Am I allowed to say that back? I can say that, right?
Well, before Beck answers, based on the actual patch notes, Seals of Paul will be rewarded. And that in the patch notes says, which will help unlock the exclusive tactical warmonger research node. So we know we're going to get those rewards.
I will say I shouldn't have put will help. I should have said will.
Will. That's right. Because this building is sourcing, just like Jules said, and we'll see this as we go through a little bit more, and there might even be a screen grab that we can grab, is that the long and short of this process is we're going to be participating in an event that awards the materials needed to upgrade the building. And in doing so, we're going to get the rewards from the building. However, Logan has himself told us, and I'm fast forwarding here, but Logan has himself told us that there will be ways to improve your payout more efficiently. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Up to 3,000%. Alongside all this power, you will also have access to the new War Room event, which is a week-long Alliance milestone event, garnering you rewards for the honor you obtain in that time. Score in the War Room event by winning and losing PvP, and by raiding Grade 2 or higher materials, raw and condensed latinum, and raw isogen from player ships.
Let me just point out what this is going to be. This is going to be a not new event. We have seen, and I say not new, it is creative, it is written in its new event format, but guys, this is not the thing that people should be worried about, okay? This is normal stealing OPCL, right? This is normal stealing isogen. How many people haven't done this before? Putt says, Pirate Week, steal it all. I mean, yes, this is Mining Monday 2.0. Incursions 2.0, okay? This is a PvP-based treasury. Sure, I like that, Divine, okay? This is no different than any other event that you've seen out there. Don't go over cargo, and you're going to be fine, okay? Tarpitude says this is going to make some servers row go nutso. Is it? Because you're only able to steal cargo. Now, I will also point out that this is a milestone event. Milestone, not leaderboard, meaning that once you're done, you're done, okay? So for those servers that have an ROE about not hitting in token space, I really don't think that that's going to be a problem for you. You're not going to need to do that in order to satisfy this event. Speaking to Logan, myself, this event has been designed for all alliances, and he mentions that in his video. Let's continue.
Additionally, gain bonus points towards your War Room event by scoring in it during infinite incursions or territory capture.
Let's point that out here real quick as well. And Voltron says, events trump row, and I get it. But I'm telling you that there are going to be so many ways to score in this and so many different bonuses. Now, Matter says, no, maybe not, DJs. We might not need to, but we still can. And that's true. Okay? Absolutely. You can. Listen, you can do whatever you want in this game. All right? But I definitely think, Griffin, that this is probably going to shake that tree a little bit for a lot of servers. But
Oh, yeah.
I was also told by some I was told by should I characterize the EU servers as being just super peaceful? All right. I don't know. People keep telling me that the EU servers don't ever fight. I don't know. They just don't ever fight. And I have been told that for the majority of people that I have talked to, the mods and the player advisory panel that are on EU servers, they're like, yeah, no, we're fine. This is not going to phase us. Okay. So I guess, I don't know. Dirty Bird Bill says, I don't know. Here's the thing. Once people see this event, I think that they will realize, Griffin, this is a cool new spin on an Alliance milestone that is focused on PvP, but not so focused on PvP that people are going to have to turtle up. I do not think this is going to be a call to arms that's a week long. I do not think that. All right. If anybody thinks that this is going to be a week-long call to arms, I think you need not worry. All right. This is on my server. This thing happens every day. People steal my Isogen every single day. All right. I think that's going to be a thing.
Now,
Oh, and I wanted to point out what he just said. There's going to be bonus multipliers for doing it during incursions or during an actual territory capture. Territory.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to point out that he says during incursions or during territory. That implication, community, would seem to exist that there could be an incursions during the arc.
What?
Hmm.
I'm just saying, it could be a thing. All right. I guess the other
That's
alternative.
easy to extrapolate from the data we're given in this video.
I was going to say the other possible alternative is that this event is not going to be an actual 1 week arc event. This could end up being a thing that runs weekly, like the territory capture battle pass event that just runs every single week and will continue to run throughout beyond the arc, which almost probably makes a little bit more sense, possibly, because it is going to be the method.
Possibly.
It is the method at which you're going to be upgrading the war room. That is giving you the stuff that is going to allow you to upgrade the war room. So actually, in hindsight, maybe I'm being a little bit unfair. And for the record, I don't know the specific exact answer to this. But to be fair, and maybe in hindsight, Griffin, it sounds like the second explanation might be a little bit more plausible, right? Is that the event is 1 week long every week. I kind of agree with that, Dragon Keeper. It's probably like a territory kind of event. Pixelate says, like, no, seriously, though, I kind of like the fact that there's going to be weekly events for PvP for a change. We have so many events that are weekly for PvE. This will be a nice change for those who like it. So maybe not a bad thing. Kind of dig it. But there will be bonus
Wait and
points.
see.
Bonus points for territory capture, bonus points for incursions in your War Room event.
it goes without saying that to earn your war chest, you'll need to fight, but you won't be going out there alone. The War Room event and its scoring are shared by all members of your alliance. By destroying players and taking part in PvP.
I want to take a quick peek at this screen, and I am going to put this into the graphics room. This is a look inside the War Room building, okay? And what we see is actually kind of a combination between a treasury and Q's trials, Griffin, is kind of how I see it. I see a ladder on the left-hand side with points and rewards for hitting certain milestones. And then I see the war chest over on the right-hand side, which contain the rewards that we can pick up when we spend our emblems or spend our tokens to open these things. It is, Divine. It's kind of like a treasury and an SMS, or a treasury and accused trial kind of thing. Maybe
And
a
don't
flash
forget,
event.
the middle of the screen has another clue, which it says time left to reset. So there is some sort of a countdown interface like a treasury.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what I am going to take, okay? I believe that the way that the War Room is going to exist is that we're going to have events. We're going to have this week-long event where there's going to be points to killing things or raiding things, okay? Raiding. Now, I will point out that the question was asked, raiding a base, does it count? No. This will be only player ships. Okay? Player
OPC.
ships. OPC. Player ships. Okay? So, not related to raiding a base. And I saw this very interesting question earlier. And even though Scopely themselves have not answered it, because they have told me that it is only player ships, I'm going to assume that star bases will not count either. Okay? Star bases.
I
will
believe
not.
that is true.
Yes.
What's the
People.
starbase?
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would care about that, but okay. Star bases do not count. This is not bases, but ships. Isogen, latinum, and materials, Forgotten Sec. Okay? Isogen, latinum, and materials. Okay?
Not resources.
Not resources, materials. Now, what we see, and again, describing this in our podcast audience, this is my interpretation of the following screen. We're going to get this week-long event that awards points for the stuff that we steal and or kill. All right? Those points are going to contribute towards an alliance milestone. This milestone that you see on your screen is indeed a milestone for the alliance, okay? Not individually. So, let me remind everybody, please, for the love of God, let me remind everybody the rules of a basic alliance milestone. Okay? In order to reap the rewards, you must do what? Please answer the question. In order to reap the rewards, you must score a single point. You must participate. You must do something. Okay? You must. And Matter says, is that confirmed for the new mechanic? We have been told that participation will be required. All right? Now, is it going to work with this new mechanic? We don't know. Matters that it's going to be a very interesting thing. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think there has ever been a 7-day period in this game where I haven't taken something from somebody. Okay? So, and again, Divine, you're right. Logan said you must fight. Okay? However, you don't have to carry the burden on your own. This is an alliance milestone. So if you've got somebody in your alliance that loves to OPC hunt, like Putz, right? I would imagine that players in Putz's alliance are probably not going to feel a ton of pressure, because that's all Putz does is hunt cargo. Like,
I can confirm that this is just a server 45 arc. There's not going to be any new stuff for us to do. It's just a normal day that ends in Y. Nothing new to see here. Go on and about your business.
Fair enough. Okay. Voltron says you need an active alliance. That I will agree. This is an alliance feature. Okay. So solo alliances out there, or alliances with 7 people in it, I don't feel like they're going to have the most luck. Okay. Absolutely. It's an alliance feature, an alliance mechanic. All right. And I 100% agree that that is going to be very, very important as we come into this thing. All right. So definitely take a quick peek at why you would be in a solo alliance at this particular stage. That being said, continuing on with my expectation for this feature, all right, we are going to see that those points are going to climb. okay, are going to climb the Alliance milestone, of which you will earn, and golly, I can't remember the name. He did tell me. I'm very sorry. Beck, do you happen to remember the name of these triangle emblems? Because I can't remember. He told us. They're war room relics or something of that nature, all right? These triangle things are some type of relic.
The Seals of Cthulhu?
Thank you. Seals of Cthulhu. All right. Those are the rewards. Okay. Those seals, all right, will allow you to open the war chest. Now, no, Mimi, the emblems of honor are contained within the war chest. Okay. Emblems of honor are the building material for upgrading the war room. All right. So the event is going to give you points. Points are going to give you relics of Sakar, seals of Sakar. What did we say? Seals of
Cthulhu. Sorry, you want me to type it?
Yeah. Seals of Cthulhu. Those are the triangle things. The seals of Cthulhu are accumulated and used to open the war chest, which will give you a bunch of stuff, resources, materials, whatever. It's like its own little treasury, which will include emblems of honor. The emblems of honor are what you use to upgrade the building. Now, here is the key. And I'm going to let this play. I think Logan actually tells us this. But I want you to remember this screen right here. Remember this screen and how important this is. If you're wanting to look into the graphics room, we've got this. But let me continue on with Logan because he does lay this out.
Activities. Your alliance will accumulate the points needed to receive war chest key.
Daggone it. Okay, here we go. I want to point this out as well, okay? Here's, I'm going to throw this in the graphics room as well. This is a beautiful little piece of nugget right here that will tell you what the next level does. Okay, the next level does, as in upgrade your war room to the next level to receive this stuff at the next level. Okay, good job on this, Scopely. All right, we have asked for this kind of stuff for a very, very long time. This is cool. And by the way, I do agree, subject to change based on what's on the screen right now. All right, however, they are telling you what you have in your current war room or war chest, plus what could come in the next war chest if you were to upgrade, okay?
The points needed to receive war chest keys. Use those keys to open the chest and receive your reward.
All right, he did not call them Seals of Cthulhu. He called them war chest keys. That's kind of what I was thinking they were. Did they actually rename them? Are they Seals of Cthulhu? Is that the war chest key? Are we talking about the same thing?
First of all, never question back. Second
You know
of all,
what?
I pinned it for you.
You're correct. You're correct. So there are war chest keys. The Seals of Cthulhu are different. They're used to unlock the research node.
Okay.
I apologize.
Are the so
Well,
this-
now I've got to unpin your message, Beck.
Please unpin it. I'm so sorry. I'm sitting here working on stuff. If you want, there's a better breakdown as well in the blog, which I know you didn't read, but there's a thing there too if you need it.
we will look at this blog here very shortly. As a matter of fact, here's the image that Beck is talking about, which again I will throw into the graphics room. War Room event begins. Every Alliance member contributes. You reach the milestone by doing the PvP points. Everyone, when the Alliance completes a milestone, you get a key. Use the key to unlock the war chest. Upgrade the War Room building with the Emblems of Honor to get more rewards. And the Seals of Cthulhu unlock the exclusive Tactical Warmonger Research Node, which is contained within the war chest. Okay? So, yes, Beck is absolutely right about that. Lots of currencies. All right. But yes, resources, Sigma, by the way, material, ship parts, emblems of honor, and Seals of Cthulhu. Now, I want to also come back and point out, which I believe that he does mention. Somebody said a moment ago, well, what about the 5-star materials that I can't use at my ops level? We will tell you and point out, and Logan does here in just a moment as well. Thank you, Crash Override, for the 20-month resub. That the contents of your war chest depend on 2 factors: ops and the level of war chest. Now, that makes this a very complicated grid. I regret having to think about all of the permutations. All right. I mean, really, it's a 70 level building for 70 ops levels worth of stuff. How many permutations is that? It'd be 70 times 69. Is that correct? Or is it 70 times 70? I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, there's a lot of permutations. 70 times 70, says Divine. 70 different combinations of war chest and 70 different combinations of ops, and they coalesce. Okay. So Ginmon says less than that since it's ops locked. Oh, that's a good point. You couldn't have a level 60 war chest for a level 40 ops. So good point. Yeah, it'd be half of that. 70 times 70 divided by 2. Is that what it is? Either way, on ops 20 is not going to be getting 5-star materials. Let's put it that way. Okay, that was the message I was trying to deliver there. Somebody asked that in the chat, and I'm giving you the answer. Okay? Let us continue.
Rewards from the war chest scale with both your operations level and your war room level. So if you
I should have just stopped and let Logan say it, since that was that particular moment that he...
And yet you paused it again after 5 seconds.
Because I was just complimenting Logan. Leave me alone, man.
want the greatest rewards, well, you'll want to upgrade your war room.
Now, I want to point out right here, this is the exact thing that I asked Logan about in our meeting. Do you have to unlock the war room every time you get some keys? This is going to be tricky, okay? Thesifer, can the building go over your ops level like the mess hall? No, it cannot. All right? It is locked to your level of ops. All right? Now, I want to point this out. There is a piece of strategy here, especially if your alliance is moving through these milestones quickly. All right? I want to point out that these milestones from the screenshot we've got in our graphics room, as far as the keys, the war chest keys, that is a continual milestone. It keeps going up. This is like a Q's trial. All right, the milestones are not just 4. Blue says, can I recollect from the war chest every time I level my war building or ops? The answer is yes, Blue, but do you want to? Here's the thing. You are going to be limited in the number of opens because of the number of keys. So, dare I say that you may possibly want to spend these keys carefully. Okay? The keys are finite. So, as you're progressing through the war room levels, if it continually gets better at higher levels, listen, are you going to have to unlock 1 or 2 at the early levels? Probably, because you need the emblems of honor to upgrade the building. Right? But do I want to do it every single level? Probably not. I'm going to want to maximize. Like if I open and get 93 emblems of honor at level 1, I'm going to take that thing to level 4 before I open another war chest. Does that make sense? I want to max it out.
What you're saying is, hypothetically, if we can take this to, let's say, level 12 in the first week, we're not opening it at level 5 and level 6. We're going to want to wait until the hypothetical level 12.
Yes.
So we can then open it with that level of rewards.
And get the higher level of rewards. Tarpitude says, I'm guessing Jules and Blue have data for this. Not yet. We do not have the specific data for ops and war room war chest contents. Thesfer says, I'm going to inevitably screw this up. All I'm saying is that you want to maximize your rewards, maximize the rewards, as in spend your war keys to get emblems of honor, but then spend all of your emblems of honor before spending more keys. Yeah. Is that a simple way of put it? If you're stuck on upgrading the building. If you have no emblems of honor, spend the keys necessary to get enough emblems of honor, then spend all of your emblems of honor before spending more keys. Does that make sense? Now, Q says, in an alliance, who's allowed to spend the keys? That is individual, okay? So your points are going to be the alliance milestone. That's where you're earning your individual keys. Your keys unlock your war chest. I don't think it's a headache, Spectre. I'm actually making it a little bit more complicated by giving you the strategy early. Okay? You can spend keys as much as you want. I'm just saying, if you want the most emblems of honor and the best rewards, this is how you're going to do it.
Bring your building up to the best level you can, then spend that stuff and really cash in.
That's exactly right. There is going to be a way to get more. So the rewards are yours. The scoring is alliance-wide, the same as any alliance milestone. You've got it matters, all right? The
Can I ask you a
alliance
question?
milestone goes up. You earn the keys. You open your war chest. Yes, Jules?
If this event resets every week, we will need to claim the milestone rewards every week, regardless, right?
Or do the keys spill over?
So the keys carry forward. The milestone rewards, yes, you're going to want to claim those, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to open your war chest, Jules. Okay? These, again,
so at
are...
least you got to claim your milestones, or no one's like going to be holding back claiming milestones. Right?
Don't hold back claiming the milestones. And for the love of goodness, please, Beck, I know you probably don't know the answer to this, but please, Scopely, do not put a cap on the freaking war chest keys, because that is the only way. That is the only way, Jules, that this gets foobarred. You know what I'm saying?
As far as I know, there is not one, but I can check. But I also wouldn't. I wouldn't sit on them either.
Would you say that you'll get back to us on that?
No, I would never say those words in my life.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll double check. But I'm pretty sure there's not.
Okay. So there you go. We hope that there's not a cap. That being said, as far as we know, there is absolutely no reason that you do not want to claim the keys on the left-hand side of your screen, okay? You definitely want to do that. And for those of you looking on the screen trying to say, well, where do you claim it? There is actually a claim button. It was just behind my face, okay? So there's no reason that you don't want to claim the stuff on the left, but on the right-hand side, there is a strategy in opening the war chest, okay? There is a strategy to that. And again, I point out what he said is that will change. The rewards will improve every time you level this thing up.
Rewards, well, you'll want to upgrade your war room. Now, we recognize that not every commander is compelled by the warrior spirit or particularly enjoys butchering Klingons, but the war room will provide excellent bonuses even outside of PvP, so don't worry if you're not the most aggressive fighter in the fleet. Whether you prefer a chapel for warship or you're a chap who likes warships, there is glory.
Keep playing the video, DJs. Keep playing the video.
There was a hit. Okay, I'm just gonna keep playing.
Don't worry if you're not the most aggressive fighter in the fleet. Whether you prefer a chapel for warship or you're a chap who likes warships, there is glory in the war room for everyone. The event is set up so that the more aggressive members of your alliance can contribute to the success of everyone, so choose your friends and allies wisely.
Choose your friends and allies wisely. I love that he puts this in here, Beck. I love that he puts this in here because he specifically assures players that not everybody needs to be this horrible, go like kill everybody kind of thing. It is an alliance effort, and what he is telling you right here is that members of your alliance can and may carry you if this is not an event that you like. I will again remind you that you must score a point. Okay? You must score a point. Joker says make friends with jerks. I disagree. It simply means have an alliance that is well-rounded just like any other game would require. Well-rounded in the people who are there who have different strengths. All right? People going out and raiding and doing this will be able to satisfy this event for you. Oh, Joker. Now listen. Cut it out with that garbage. PvP does not equal jerks. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that it's not appropriate for anybody else. Okay? It's different play styles, and I'm sorry that you don't like it. You sound like if it's not fun for me, then it's bad. You sound ridiculous right now. All right?
Also, remember there are many PvP events where you score by even simply dying, and that may be the case here. So we just have to wait and see.
Oh, it could be. I don't know about that. I kind of hope not, to be honest with you. But yeah, we will see. We will see. That's right. We're getting rewarded for OPC. What is wrong with that? OPC is OPC. Okay.
Now, as always, Commanders, head to our website at StarTrekFleetCommand.com for more information, and live long and prosper. Chief, one to beam up.
By the way, kick-ass graphic right there, okay? Very well done. Beck, love the video. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Beck likes plans on another beautiful, amazing masterpiece. All right. Yeah, very, very good. So Wardot says, so there's more incentive to killing DJ's OPCL. Absolutely there is. And I'm good with that. I mean, that might be the difference, Griffin, is that I die over cargo anyway. Like, I never survive over cargo. So to me, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Now, Omicron says, let's hope the rewards outpace the repair costs. Let me again be super clear. This is not about straight up PvP killing 5-star ships. Okay? It is about stealing cargo. Okay? You don't have repair bills when you steal cargo. Okay? Throwing that out there. So
that's exactly right.
That's right. Now,
I'm not worried about losing a 5-star ship. I'm worried about, and I'm not worried is not the right word, but I'm thinking about, well, what's going to go on in Yarda? What's going to go on in the cowboy hat systems?
I don't know.
Those are the things you start thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know if Yarda actually counts or not, because he didn't mention data, and God, I hope not. He did mention Latinum, he mentioned Isogen, and he mentioned materials. Okay, those are the things that he specifically talked about.
Well, there's tritanium that you'll gain from the rewards, and you can mine tritanium.
True.
You know, and a lot of people got on my case for that earlier. Of course, people mine for that stuff. I still have an event from September where I'm trying to get to 3 million tritanium. Okay, so people do mine tritanium. Thank you.
No, not really. They don't. Okay. Anyway, continuing on to the actual blog post, where there's a couple of extra things that I want to point out in here. Of course, you've got the isolytic damage and the officer stat bonuses and things like that we talk about. There's also this graphic interstitial, which I already put into the graphics room for you guys to be able to see how this loop is going to work. And again, I want to be real careful in calling it a loop, even though it kind of is, but it doesn't have its own refinery. That's why I would maybe refrain from that. But it doesn't have its own refinery, although it kind of does. Maybe technically the war chest is possibly its own form of refinery. Puma, thanks for the follow. Thank you. Tactical Cream, thank you for the 17-month resub. Just saw you sneak in. Jeefboo, thank you for your resub. Sir Tail and Crash Override, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel and securing your entries into our Star Trek The Cruise 8 sweepstakes. For those of you just joining us in the Twitch channel, !Discord for your official rules and how you would get entered if you're in the... !Cruise, sorry. If you're in the Discord, then go to our contest rules channel, where, again, you have the contest rules and all ways that you can get entered to win a free cruise with the Star Trek team. That is coming up in February. The contest is currently underway and will conclude this summer. So your chance to win a really fantastic prize right there, okay? So... There you go. That is the blog post. Now, Jules, this is where I want to give extra information. Now, I have been told, Omicron says, are we going to get a flashing banner pop up when our war chest is full? No.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
No.
But
No
think of
taken.
No.
think of the meme contest.
How would we know otherwise?
Yeah. How will they know?
All right, fine. I authorize all banners. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it sounds like Beck has an idea. She's very excited about it.
I think it's Omicron's idea, and we should fully credit him when those pop ups.
yeah. Just put his player name at the top.
Yeah, we're going to call it the Omicron Notifier, okay? It'll be
I like
the
it.
Omicrominator. Ooh, I like that. The Omicrominator.
Spicy.
Fantastic. Sounds lethal.
That's a mouthful.
Okay. Now, one thing that did not make it into the video, which is interesting, all right, that they didn't put this. I think Beck did this on purpose to allow me a chance and Jules a chance to get super ultra nerdy on you guys, because what do we have? What do we have here, Jules? We've got brand new, super awesome, amazing nerd math. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our newest form at Consolidation. I'm going to have Jules come in and actually talk to us a little bit about this new, whatever you want to call it, this new Consolidation, because, in fact, we have the data. We have the new chest values, and I want to share those with you right now. And yes, I will be putting them into our graphics room. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming, please join me in welcoming to the stage our mad scientist, Jules Verne.
What's up, new daddy?
Yay! Real quick, welcome, Jules. I need to finish working, so I'm gonna skedaddle. But
Have a
I'll be
lovely
listening.
evening. Have a lovely night.
Yeah.
Thank you for popping in as well.
Thank you. Wonderful, DJ. Make sure you read the things you can do and not do. Don't give me a heart attack tonight, okay? But you kids have fun.
I look up into my Discord DMs and see
Great time.
7 DMs from Beck that I haven't read yet. So I
Should definitely read them live.
remember, you kids have fun. No, really.
we'll have
I'll see you guys in a few hours, probably somewhere, and have fun.
thank you very
Great to hear
much.
from you, Beck.
Great night.
Thank you for
Thanks.
joining us, and thank you for leaving now so you have plausible deniability.
Exactly. All right.
All right. In case anybody was curious, we have been granted the permission to actually share this math. Jules, one thing that I was very, very critical of last month was that a consolidation was not, in fact, a consolidation. It did not deliver a consolidation, right? That was what made me so very fussy about Zindi Armadas.
I think it was even more than that, because not only did the consolidation not really consolidate, even with the base numbers that were provided in those bundles, but that the cost to achieve those bundles was so astronomically high or impossible for a lot of players.
Yeah.
So it was a twofold problem. Now we look at this and we compare it to that last consolidation, and we see these new numbers. We can compare that to the refinery cost, and we can make our own evaluation of whether each particular addition to each of these efficiency bundles actually helps consolidate that loop. And then we can talk separately of whether or not spending the common export credits on these bundles is a worthwhile or cost-efficient use.
So,
Right? So, like,
yeah, what I was going to do is kind of is simplify this, because I see Simpy saying in the chat, man, I do not understand. I'm going to break it down for you very, very simply. And for those of you in our podcast audience, the link to this Google Sheet is already in the graphics room, and it is public. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to hop inside this spreadsheet, and we're going to go to the Xborg. What is it? The tab is efficiency bundles. Efficiency bundles in this spreadsheet. Now, the reason that I bring that up, and the reason that I was a little bit coy about this earlier in the month, I was kind of like, hey, Jules, just out of curiosity, like how many people actually use some of these chests, right? If you go inside the
Oh, I
export...
remember you saying that, you sneaky kitty cat.
All right, if you take a look inside the export faction store, Matter says, I actually do use a couple of them. Cruzito says, I don't. Crazy enough, I haven't been because I don't feel the value there. If you take a look, you've got one for the Monavine, you've got one for the Fuchsia, one for Voyager, Stella, Mantis, Botany Bay, the Defiant, Meridian, and the Vidar Tally. Okay?
Never pull them because the value is not there. I've been going after the
I've never pulled them either. I've never pulled them. I don't. The biggest reason was because I felt like the value wasn't there. For example, I could take a look. I can spend X-Borg credits, but I can come in here and get 200,000 raw isogen. How long does it take you to get 200,000 raw isogen? About 60 seconds. Okay? Really was not worth it to me. All right? Well, ladies and gentlemen.
They were designed for you to get like one chest pulls. And that was really expensive considering that at the time that these were released, common export credits could only be earned through freebooters, and you could maybe get 2 single chests of these with that income. So it was expensive. You had to invest into this using some of these really high value currencies, so that it didn't make any sense at the time.
I will also point out that Lord Ascarin is absolutely correct in the chat in that you want to be careful in this. Matters, if you were pulling these chests, then it would stand to reason that potentially you were done spending export credits in the export research tree. Now, we're talking about the commons, not the uncommons and the new ones. We're talking about the old school common export credits. Okay? If you are done with this research, then you've been accumulating these with no way to spend them. So you might as well. As a matter of fact, those efficiency bundles, Jules, were in fact the quote-unquote completion mechanic. They were the overflow mechanic for the common export credits that you get out of the freebooters loop. For those of you who did not buy Prime Borg Ordnance, for those of you who did not buy Prime Export credit efficiency, I am in your boat. I did not buy either of those, so I have spent 4 times. Well, no, I guess I have. I am 4 times slower in my progression. Not only, Jules, have I not gotten double the amount of credits, but I also am spending twice as much in the same research. All right.
That's not really how it works.
Jules,
math,
like, by the way, DJs, you are completely and utterly wrong on this. All right, let me suffice.
The export efficiency reduces it by 50%. So you take the total cost, you divide it by 1.5. That is how you get the efficiency. And then the export ordinance only grants you 400 more. But with the scrap trade that was released with the Zindi hostiles and with the aquatic exchange that was released with the NX-01, we have more than tripled our normal income. And then you add the export, this prime export ordinance that adds additional 400. You're not losing out on a lot. And I want to stress this for free to play. This is still a viable, these efficiency bundles are still a viable expenditure. Like if you really want to reduce your grind, you pick one of these, you spend it, you're not actually going to hold back your research a lot as long as you are doing those other bundles to your fullest extent.
I actually agree with that. Okay. The point that I was drawing is that I, like many players, are probably not done with this research tree. As a matter of fact, right now, I only have 4,400 credits. My next research that I want to do costs 5,700. So I am not done with that research tree, as I imagine a lot of people are not. Okay. That being said, there is a choice mechanic here, Jules, that will allow some players, as you just mentioned, to slightly slow down their research progress, but eliminate 1 or 2 or more loops, depending on how you prioritize it. Let's go back to your Google Sheet. And again, I point out this link is in the graphics room for anybody who wants to follow this along and take a look at what this new data is. Open the Google Sheet, and at the bottom, click on the bundle or click on the tab that says Efficiency Bundles. First, let's actually take a look at our income. Jules, that's this section over here. If you would, please explain to players what you mean when you're talking about the income is not going to necessarily be damaging. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I include primes in that screenshot, by the way, because the reason is that first of all, this is really complicated and unique for each player because freebooters are based on your ops. The scrap is based on how well you can pull those chests and based on your ops. The aquatic is based on your NX01 tier. The ordnance is a prime. So there's many different factors, and each one has its own variables. But on the very low end, if you are free to play, but you are still maximizing what you can do as an ops 40, you're going to make 1,400 common export credits. Okay. You can spend those common export credits. There is mostly these fixed costs that exist, the export research tree. The favors, these are first levels of favors mostly. That's pretty low. And then to completely max your NX01, you need about 50,000 of these common credits. So that is a large chunk. Now, most players who have been working on their export research tree are probably getting through this or getting to a point where there's less valuable researches left to do. And they may say, I want to spend more of this 1,400 credit income on these efficiency bundles and less on banking up for this research. Or it could be the opposite. They're not done with this. They're not ready for the end game mechanic.
I agree. There are some researches in here. Some players might actually think I'm a little silly on some of the stuff that I've skipped, like Romulan attrition, decreasing reputation losses when killing that faction's hostiles. I haven't actually invested not a single credit into those. I know that there are reasons that you could, but they don't outweigh the cost for me. You know what I'm saying? I grind what I want to grind, and if there's an event that has me kill Romulans, for example, I kill 10 or 20 more Klingons to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? So this is not one that I spent a lot of time prioritizing. Also, piercing. A 50% boost to piercing. I have a hard time caring about piercing and mitigation these days. That's not to say that it's not valuable and not important. Just saying, right now, not really worth my bang for my buck. The Stella right here, the Rogue Research cost efficiency for credits, don't care. Done with Stella. So there are some researches that you can, in fact, skip. Okay, and with those researches, if you are going through and deciding that there's something that you're still working on, you guys can see I am actively doing a couple of researches now. All right. I knew this was coming, but I'm still working on the researches that matter to me. All right. That being said, what we're talking about here is this export research, if you were to completely max it, the favors and the NX01 to completely max it, which, again, a lot of players cannot do because of ops locks. You are going to be like Putz and say, well, I am actually, getting a good amount of credits each and every day. And, Jules says at a minimum 1,400. And there are some players out there, Jules, who are actually earning north of 2,000 common credits a day, right?
Agreed. And that's high end. This is still free to play. Well, I guess not free to play because you'd
have the NX01.
But eventually, when you get the NX01, that gives you another source of common export credits. So you will get up to 2,000, maybe even more than that, depending on your ops level. This is going to be, you're going to get a lot of common export credits, and you're also going to get to a point where your fixed costs are going to diminish, or your value in those fixed costs is going to diminish, and you're going to want to start looking at investing in some of these efficiency bundles.
Absolutely. So again, just like the original efficiency bundles were designed to be, it is kind of designed to be the overflow mechanic. The overflow or what you do with those credits when you're done with the research tree, when you're done with that portion of the loop, so to speak. And I am not fussy about this loop expansion because it's such a beloved loop expansion, Jules. It's freebooters, guys. All right. So by continuing to do the freebooters, which you are never going to stop doing anyway, they have now offered you additional ways to spend your freebooter income now in the Xborg store. And this is what we're going to talk about here. Jules, let's just go down these loops one at a time. Stella received an improvement. We are looking at an improvement in rep. For those of you who are not done with your outlaw reputation, Jules, what are we seeing here within the Stella loop that it will help?
It just increases the rogue reputation. And to be honest, rogue reputation, there's a downside to increasing that rep. All of your bundles become inefficiently more expensive.
Ooh.
So, in fact, when I was going through that faction, I tried to not increase my rep, but I needed, the directives. I needed the other things that came in that bundle, so I inherently got the rep. So I don't really see this as a benefit.
I don't
Even
disagree.
with the security codes at a max Stella, you can't pull that chest. It's less than the cost of a chest. The Stella
Agreed.
particles are very small, so I don't really see a large benefit in this, and I don't think that the rogue rep was the correct thing that needed to be.
In other
reviewed.
words, with this particular piece of consolidation, again, they missed this as far as it being an effective consolidation, but with Stella. Now, I'm slightly more forgiving of that because, in my opinion, Stella is not the loop that you should be spending Xborg efficiency on anyway. I know some people might not be done with it, and that's fine. But, yeah, Stella is not my favorite spot in this entire improvement. Let's take a look at the Fuchsia. Okay, this one actually slightly better for a segment of the community. Jules, why don't you explain the new efficiencies for the Devore Fuchsia?
Well, the nice thing about this is with the Fuchsia and this bundle, you're actually getting raw latinum. Now, there's a lot of people who either only mine for the concentrated latinum and have just kind of given up on the raw latinum. This will actually kind of help you kind of go back and be able to pull those chests, which is kind of nice. Now, I also have on this page here, if you scroll down, there's a little overview of each of these efficiency bundle ads and how they compare to the chest costs.
Yes.
So,
which is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. One of the big things that we can notate here is that the actual concentrated latinum that you get, and this is from tier 4 and above, no matter where you are with your Fuchsia, it's going to cover your costs for double chest.
For the double pull.
That's amazing.
That is huge. Absolutely. I appreciate that you pointed that out. Yeah.
Yep. And that starts at tier 4. This is an end game for the Fuchsia. This starts at tier 4 for the Fuchsia. It's already better, which is great.
And what he's referring to is that this efficiency bundle that we're getting covers the full double chest pull. And I want to point out that it is a single day's cooldown. You can do it. There's also no penalty for pulling a 7-day chest if you wanted to. 400, 2800, whatever. Those are the common export credits. It's on a 22-hour cooldown. Meaning, Jules, if I wanted to spend 400 common export credits a day, I will never mine concentrated latinum again outside of an event. Are we agreed?
Either latinum. Yeah, never. You'll not mine latinum ever again if you don't want to.
Now, the reason I say that that's valuable for a segment of the community is because with the Ferengi Whip, that's not a bottleneck for us anymore. Okay, where's my little button? What? If you own the Ferengi Whip, it takes no time at all. You can mine 7.5 million latinum in a matter of minutes. Okay? That being said, you could not mine it at all. Okay? Tarpatu says, I've never wanted to mine lat to begin with. This is actually amazing. Okay? 400 for one singular chest will get you enough, not only for your whip refinery, but also the entire Fuchsia and Devore refineries without you having to mine any at all. Okay? Savage Darkness says the whip is CLAT, and I would argue that that is the most important one. However, as Jules points out so eloquently, it also takes care of regular Latinum as well. In fairness, Jules, I don't even use the regular Latinum refinery. This 400 common export credits a day would allow me to increase my Latinum income and not have to mine anything extra at all. Okay, so I kind of feel like
Latinum.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is a very, very good one. And I appreciate you putting this chart down here. So for those of you looking to eliminate, and this is why I come back and say that this one is automatically better. We're talking about a consolidation that does, in fact, eliminate a loop. This completely eliminates that grind of mining Latinum. The Fisha efficiency bundle will remove that. Let's take a look at the next one. The Mantis. This one is actually a little bit more exciting to me personally, Jules. Let's talk about the Mantis. What improvements have been made to the Mantis bundle?
This is a little bit of scrolling, so it's kind of at the bottom here. These efficiency bundles, they scale kind of dramatically. And in fact, the only level that really kind of makes a giant impact is tier 12 Mantis. At that point, you can max all chests all the time. And you don't even need to pull this every day.
All chests?
Yes.
All
max,
the time.
All refine. Now, they have different cooldown periods, so I had to do some math to kind of give you what the daily cost would be for each of these chests. At tier 12, it's a little bit over 2.5 million, but you're getting a little under 5 million for these efficiency bundles. So it just immediately stops your grind on Actian, and it allows you to just ignore the Mantis loop entirely, and you can still pull all of those chests, your whole fragments, your Syndicate XP. Hell, if you really wanted to do the research for whatever reason, just to get ahead on this research leaderboard, or you want to build the second Mantis so you can sting without the cooldown period, well, you can still pull those ship parts. You can still pull those research particles. So that allows you to do that. At lower tiers, tier 4 through tier 11, it can cover your Syndicate XP costs, your Syndicate XP pulls. So if you're just done with the Mantis and you don't care anymore, you don't want to level it anymore, you don't want to do that grind, but you're happy with the Syndicate XP that you currently have, you'll be able to keep that up without having to go back and continue to grind Actian.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, I see Matters in the chat. I was kind of the same way as you. I still had to go kill Axion hostiles to keep up my Syndicate pulls. As a matter of fact, literally right now, Jules, I'm actually out. And I have been for a couple of days. Look, does this not pain you to see, Jules? I'm going to put this in the graphics room.
It does.
This is how great of a player I am. I have not pulled any of these bundles for 2 or 3 days. Okay, because I haven't had the time to go grind Axion. Now, Otter says Tal eliminated the Mantis loop. No, he didn't. He did make it faster. He did make it better, but it still costs it costs over 1 million of those things every single day. My Mantis is tier 11, so I am knocking on the door, Jules, but not quite there. All right, to max all of the daily refines, I got to have 1.5 million toxin venom or whatever the heck it's called. Okay, and that's right. Tattooed RN says some of us don't even have Tau, and I agree with you. That's why this one looks so good to me. All right, this one looks so good to me because once you push through, and by the way, Jules, you and I were talking about this the other day. Why are you grinding with the Mantis? I'm personally not. It still just requires too much stuff. But I want to point out the subtle, if you want to call it, Jules says that it's dramatic once you get to tier 12. I agree, but do you know why I'm okay with that? Jules, I'm okay with that because you're done. You're done
and game
with
mechanic.
The grind. You're done with that loop. Now it's just about cashing out the rewards. Okay? I do want the Syndicate XP. I do want the officer shards. Okay? I might want the research particles, probably not, and I certainly don't need these ship parts anymore. But I still care about the Syndicate XP, and I care about the officer shards. That's right, Blue. We call this mastery. All right. We call this completion of a loop. And the simple fact that that payout doesn't come until you're done with the mantis, I'm actually okay with it, Jules, because this will now eliminate that loop for anybody who would have considered themselves done with the mantis loop, but God still had to grind those stupid hostels in order to get their syndicate XP pulls.
And all for the low price of 400 common Borg export credits.
Not even every day. You don't need to spend 2,800 a week on this. You only have to spend 2,000 a week on this. All right.
I mean, that's simply amazing. And by the way, just to play devil's advocate, we're sure that it's still going to be 400 export credits, right? They're not playing with that economy.
Yes, they will still be.
Well, that's
400.
amazing.
They will still be 400 export credits. Okay,
that's exciting.
Yeah, those prices are not changing. Now, Jules, let's continue on with the efficiency. Let's take a look at the Defiant. Some of you guys are looking at the Defiant.
So the Defiant, what it's actually giving you is the antimatter units that you get from grinding the Jem'Hadar hostiles.
That's right.
Now, those that will give you, it gives you, what does it give you again? The credits that is then used in the Bajoran faction store.
The antimatter units are, yes, that is kind of that's the entry level currency. You use those antimatter credits to, let me see, that's going to be in the faction store. We go to Bajoran, and you use those in the directive exchange.
That's in the hostile exchange.
Hostile exchange. Yeah, you exchange
Correct.
those for badges. The Bajoran badges are then used to buy directives or other things. Here's the thing about this one. Fortunately, I don't know how to put this for most people. I am currently grinding my Borg cube in Bajoran space. So this is no longer a problem for me. There was a time where I did need these badges and I had to go grind those hostels, but that is no longer the case for me. Once you get near the top of this loop, you no longer need to redeem these badges. So Matter says this is a useless, but this is contrary to the Mantis one. This is not useless if you're still in that loop. And that's
not just that, but this updated claim starting at tier 4 all the way through tier 12, if you are basically having your Defiant max for your ops, like ops locked, then this will cover your 3 chest pull every single level. So it is immediately stopping you from having to grind Jem'Hadar hostiles.
Correct.
So if that's something that you actively need to do and you don't like that loop and you want to get rid of that loop, this is where you're going to spend your 400.
Absolutely.
The problem with this one is where it doesn't really help is that they gave us the wrong material, because most of us don't need that. What we need are the diplomacy tokens you can only get by participating in the solo armadas to close out this loop.
You know, I think that's debatable, because this one, I believe, as Matters points out in the chat, this one is not a mastery loop. This one is a loop accelerator. Okay? This one is a replacement. For those that are still in that loop, this eliminates the hostile grind. Okay? You still have to do the solo armadas, as everybody needs to do. All right? But this eliminates the grind hostiles in order to do the solo armadas. Okay?
And that's all of these loops. The
Yes.
Talios, grind probes, the Monavine, grind those auto grinders, the Voyager. These are all about eliminating hostile kills or mining.
That's
and it's not about
correct.
reducing your solo armadas, and it's not about speeding up the loop by giving you additional materials.
That's
So
right.
We got to be clear on what it's actually trying to do.
This is the consolidation that I would have loved for us to be bragging about last month. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved
But
for
that's
us
what
to
I'm
be
saying. This is so hard to compare it to last month, because last month was about trying to reduce your Armada grind by giving you this Armada loot. Whereas this is more comparable to freebooters, because the freebooters reduced the grind of the hostiles. You're not doing 2 different factions. You're not doing swarm dailies anymore. You're just doing one hostile that's going to satisfy 3 different, or 3 or more different
You're
loops.
absolutely right. This is Freebooters 2.0, but not even really. It's still Freebooters 1.0, but they have added in more loops that those same hostiles are now satisfying. I think you're exactly right, Jules. That's a brilliant way to put it, is that they are expanding the number of hostiles that are included in the satisfaction loop by killing the freebooters. Like, it's not just swarm and faction hostiles now. Now it's also Mantis hostiles. Now it's also Defiant hostiles. Now it's also Tally hostiles. Now it's also Mining Latinum, right? They have taken the original freebooters and added more loops.
It's not giving you all of that all in once that the freebooters did originally.
Correct.
Divine has it right. It's pick and choose. You pick and choose. You basically have a limited currency to say, these are the ones that I am going to choose to consolidate.
Absolutely. Freebooters 1.1, says Querty. I think you could get behind that, to be honest with you. I kind of like that. The Tally, all right? Tally is significant if you hate grinding Borg probes. I think this one, for example, Jules, this one carries less value for me because the Borg probes that I can kill, and my Tally is now maxed. So if we get a Battle Pass event, I can fund my Tally refinery for like a week and a half. You know what I'm saying? Querty says they're not useful late game. I don't know. I kind of disagree with that a little bit. Go ahead, Jules.
Well, we covered Defiant. Let's cover Talios now. And the thing I have to say about the Talios is that I believe that this one missed its mark because we've added a refit, the Enigma, through the Section 31 faction store, that it adds a 3rd chest with an increased cost. And even if we just excluded that, until you get to tier 12, this isn't actually going to reduce the grind. It's going to help you along, but you're still going to have to go and kill hostiles. So if we kind of consider this as a consolidation, I think it's missed its mark as according to the math. And once you hit tier 12, you're Ops 58, you're kind of done with this loop anyways, and you don't really need to worry about hitting those hostiles.
I still like it for faction credits. I mean, I'm an Ops 56. I still do all of those pulls every single day. And to be perfectly honest with you, I do not have the Enigma, so I probably missed out on a few of those benefits. I didn't actually realize that's what it did. So it gives you a 3rd refinery option for the charged nanoprobes. But again, do you need those extra charged nanoprobes? I guess that depends on what you're still buying out of the store.
If you're at the end of this loop, you really don't need that because you can afford all of the credits and directives with just the regular 2 chest option.
Yeah.
And, and that's usually augmented with your expansion cubes, which again, the last arc was trying to also help consolidate, which it didn't.
It did not.
And
yeah, now I'll tell you, crazy enough, I don't actually buy Reputation with charged nanoprobes, mainly because it's got that negative up there, So for me, because I'm dual faction grinding, it's actually less valuable to me. Now, when I go back and I'm going to catch up on my Klingon, I will start buying rep with charged nanoprobes. But I also want to point out, and thank you, Dredd, for pointing this out. It's not all about the high ops levels. These are great for some Ops 40 G4 players, and I agree. That's why I want it to be very, very. I want it to be very careful how we discuss whether it's a replacement mechanic or it's a hostile elimination or if it's a mastery mechanic. Because these are going to eliminate hostiles. Like, period, plain and simple.
I hear that point.
These are going to eliminate hostiles. Go ahead.
But for Ops 40 players, they are Ops locked on these ships, which means they only can receive a certain bundle amount. And in the case of the Talios, the bundle amount for Tier 4 to Tier 6 doesn't cover what Tier 4 or Tier 6 Talios owners need to actually refine. So that's why I think the Talios in specific has failed, or at least isn't owning up to as much as it could be, whereas the Defiant is exactly what it needs to be. Its math is perfect. It follows that chart perfectly.
MDB says, this is almost pointless for me at Ops 63. I think I could almost agree with you with one exception, right? Are you max syndicate? Because if you're not, then the Mantis loop is still for you, and that would be one of the two that you go in on. Let's continue down the list and see if there's anything for a G6 player here. Monavine, right, Jules? We know the Monavine gives Sigma resources, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Monavine.
Well,
not for MDB, but for everybody else. Listen, Monavine actually doesn't look that bad either.
and I don't think the Motivate gives Sigma resources, so that's not.
No,
really
it
a
does
thing
not.
either.
That's what I'm saying. Not for MDB, but for me,
Yeah.
for a G4 player, I kind of like what the Monavine is offering here.
So the Motivine efficiency bundles in until tier 12 do not keep up with the costs. So you still have to go out there and send ships out to auto grind. You still have to go out there and actively grind maybe once in a while, depending on how many auto grinders you have, until you get to tier 12. At which case, we're still ignoring the choice, which we know is that's the stretch goal. Ignoring the stretch goal, tier 12 and loop and mechanic is actually going to help cover some of that. It still doesn't even cover the 2 chest cost for active net ships. So this still isn't a perfect tool, and it only works at tier 12, and even then it doesn't work super well. So I think that the math is still off on that one particularly, but it will help kind of reduce how much you actually have to send ships out there. The thing with that loop, though, is that it doesn't really require a lot of your attention.
Right. It's passive. Right.
I wonder how many players out there don't actively grind with their Monavine and still don't even have that field training, milestone with the 3,000 hostile kills. How many players don't have that done yet?
I have
Because that requires active grinding. That's 3,000 active kills.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And are you struggling to pull your refineries?
I don't pull them every day. No.
Hmm.
I actually don't. And,
Well,
why don't I pull them every day? It's pure laziness. That's my fault. Okay? But no, I don't pull it every day because, look, I just showed you my Mantis refinery. I've not been pulling Syndicate, and I love Syndicate. All right? So this is what I'm talking about. Do I think it is a replacement for everything? No. Do I think it's going to help me keep up? Yes. At the very least, it's less hostiles that I have to kill in order to try to keep up. And that, I think, is what we've been asking. That's what we've been demanding and screaming about, is there is too much to do. Even if it doesn't fully replace the loop, Jules, it allows me to do less to keep up with that loop. And that, to me, makes it okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me makes it worth it. It's a boost at the minimum. Could be a replacement, but at the very least, it allows me to spend less time trying to keep up with all these other loops. For me, that is very, very exciting. As a matter of fact, I kind of wish that we had gotten a Voyager boost here, a Meridian boost. I don't care about Botany Bay. But those 3 loops did not get a change. All right? Those 3 loops, Voyager, Botany Bay, Meridian, did not get a change. All right? Now, MDB says, how much do I have to spend on the new building for it to help me? Nothing in this case, MDB. We're talking about 2 separate features, okay? 2 separate features. The War Room has absolutely nothing to do with these efficiency bundles. As a matter of fact, tomorrow after maintenance, fingers crossed, all things go well, these will just update. It is a freebie. Okay?
Which I have to applaud
Absolutely.
Scopely for not putting this behind a prime.
Absolutely. It's not a prime. It's not something you have to earn. You're not investing any credits. It just is an improvement. Now, MDB, you're talking about the War Room. How much do you have to spend on that to make the buffs worth it, to make the War Room chest worth it? Totally different. Okay, totally different. I mean, two separate features. All right, but these efficiency bundles, and can I just be honest with you, Jules, as we get ready to wrap up because it's late. I started late, didn't mean to, but from the moment I got this Arcfall information, this is what I was most excited about. Honestly, this is what I was the most excited about because this is actually the consolidation that I would have wanted to have seen last month. I'm not trying to compare the two, Jules, but like the actual impact.
The theory behind consolidation.
Yes, the
It's
actual
here, and
impact.
it makes sense.
It does.
Yes. So, question for you. Let's imagine that you are doing your chest and you're getting a good amount of common export credits. Which one or two of these bundles are you going to start pulling?
Oh,
if any, and I would love to hear from the chat, like if anyone here now sees these new numbers and says, I'm absolutely going to pull this chest and this chest.
for me, Monavine and Mantis. Monavine and Mantis. And Divine, I kind of agree with you. He says this helps more casual players. I think that is fair. I think that is a fair statement. I don't want to say that I'm a casual player. I feel like I play a lot, but not as much as some of you guys. And I am still not keeping up. So for a truly casual player, like Dr. Noor or Peyton List, who we met on the cruise, all right, for those players who are casual to the point, Jules, that their alliance boots them for inactivity, I imagine this is going to be extremely helpful.
Yep.
Extremely helpful. So for me personally, what will I invest in? Probably Monavine and Mantis myself. That's what I will probably invest in.
In the chat, we're getting a lot of people who are interested in the Mantis, a Monavine, Defiant maybe, Tally Chess.
I think the Mantis one is probably the most valuable one in the list. If you were ranking these yourself, Jules, what would you pick?
So I'm going to start pulling the Mantis, but I'm also at tier 11 and just had no ambition of maxing my Mantis.
Yes,
so
same, dude.
I now have to go back and start pulling those parts. So this grind is not done for me just yet.
Yes.
I'm going to pull those parts. I'm going to max the Mantis, and then I'm going to be done with that loop.
I am in the same boat you are. I am at tier 11 and have not finished it. As a matter of fact, I am probably 10 million parts, which is going to take me a while. I am, well, maybe not quite. Let's see. There's 400,000, 1.7 million. So that's 2.2 million, 2.1, 4.2 million. Oh, yeah. I'm 5 million parts away from maxing my Mantis. You betcha.
You got some time.
Yeah, 5 million parts. And I remind you, for someone who is maybe a casual player, I'm stagnant. I'm not doing anything right now because I don't have the venom to go in and even do the single pulls. The Mantis is 1,000%. Before I even do Syndicate, I will be investing in parts now. To me, this is one of those great Eye of Aura versus Stone of Memory kind of things, Jules. I will invest everything I've got into parts now over Syndicate for the sake of my long-term Syndicate. You see what I'm saying? Or for the sake of my long-term Mantis pull. I want to get to a tier 12 Mantis so freaking bad now, I can taste it. Because that means
it's take you 5
mastery.
weeks.
5 weeks.
You got 5 weeks to get those 5 million parts.
You know what? I got to be honest with you. Is that double pulls or single pulls?
That's double pulls with a bonus. You got a little bit of time. Hey, I'm not far behind you.
I kind of hate you for telling me that right
now. This is the thing, though. There are
now.
so many players in the same boat here. There's so many players that just said, I'm just done with upgrading the Mantis. I don't want to deal with those tier 12 costs. That's just too much grind.
Yeah.
And this just kind of changes that game for them. So
yeah. And really, truthfully, that's what some of you guys are saying. DJs, if you actually grind, it wouldn't be an issue. I know! I don't wanna! All right, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of what we've been asking for. Eliminate the grinds. Stop piling on loops. I do not want to grind. I'm throwing a temper tantrum right now. I don't want to do it, Cruzito. Okay? It's a chore. It's not fun. I want to be done with it. So,
Well,
yeah, man. Count me in the group that doesn't want to grind for it. That's me. Hi, how you doing? My name's DJz. I don't want to grind for it.
look at the bright side. Now that they have increased this efficiency, you can spend your Xborg on that. And for a week or two, go and grind the Mantis in the 49 system. You will be done before you know it. I just did mine, and
no, it's actually going to take me 5
tickled.
weeks. It's going to take me 5 weeks. Actually, a little bit longer because I don't have the extra bonus. I do. I'll do the triple pulls or the double pulls, whatever. But I don't have whatever. I'm going to have to grind to get it finished sooner. But yeah, I'm going to have to do it. Okay. Cruzito says, "You want to tell us? So you tell us you want to play the game without playing the game." No, I want to get into the new stuff, and I don't have time to play all the old stuff. Does that make sense? Like, I want to, and no, Putz, I'm not reversing my ideology. I still like the Syndicate, but now, for me, now the Syndicate is not the biggest prize. See, you're telling me with the Great Eye of Aura, I told you that Syndicate was my biggest prize out of that loop. Now, my biggest prize is eliminating the loop. Okay? It's not Syndicate. Syndicate in the Mantis loop is not my biggest prize. My Syndicate in my Artifact loop was the biggest prize. But now, in my Mantis loop, the biggest prize is eliminating the loop. That's not shaky at all. That's what I value more, is elimination of that loop, which I have been screaming about to Scopely forever. Give me something to get rid of all the work that I have to do. And when I say work, Cruzito, I am talking about chores. Okay? I'm talking about maintenance of the game. I like wave defense. I like playing in solo armadas. I still enjoy that stuff. I'm fine with those things. The things that I don't like to do is what I want to eliminate. And I appreciate that Scopely's giving me an opportunity to reduce the things that I don't like to do so that I have more time to do the things that I do want to do. Does that make sense? That's what I feel like this is.
It does.
All right. Bud Knight says, don't do the Xborg research, use credits to pull the chest. That depends, right? I think that depends on you as a player.
That's my thing, is that I'm just doing the Mantis, which means I'm spending 400 a day on the Mantis. That leaves me the rest of my income to continue to chip away at the research, away at upgrading my NX01. And that's plenty because I'm getting roughly around 2,000 now.
Exactly.
For myself. So that's 1,600 extra going to the research. Yeah, I'm going to get that stuff done eventually over time, just like I've always been doing.
And see, for me, I'll probably do one extra. I'm probably going to spend 800. I'm probably going to do Monavine and Mantis. But again, that's still going to allow me, and I do have the NX01, so I'm at 2,200. If I spend 800, that leaves me 1,400 that I can still do on research. And to be perfectly honest with you, I am nearly done with the research I care about in here, So I will do other researches as I have the extra export credits, but most of the research that I care about, I am done with. Cruzito says, do you think this is to open up time to do more PvP? I mean, I think it's to open up time for players to do whatever the hell they want. All right, that's what the original freebooters were. And this is that again. This is that again. Is freeing up time from the mundane and the chores to allow you to do the other things. Joker says, I think it means there are 5 more loops coming. For the love of God, Joker, I hope not. All right, because I feel like they've done enough of that over the last 6 months. Okay? I feel like they've done that enough over the last 6 months. This, maybe, Jules, in a theory-crafted world, and I know it's late. Thank you to everybody on the panel for hanging out. I know it's late, and Griffin still has an Arcfall video. Do you just want to publish this as the Arcfall video, Griffin, or do you still feel like doing it?
I just got here. We can keep going.
No, I've got to get over to Jesse's stream. I'm an hour and a half late.
What? I'm sorry, I was asleep.
Do you?
Oh no, wait, that was you for 4 hours.
It wasn't 4 hours. It was like 2.5. Nura says they're prepping us for a new Gorn loop. I said nothing. Anyway, shut the hell up, Karkin. Thank you for that, Putz.
Now I know how Wesley Crusher feels. It's all good.
All right. Again,
Me and him are in good company now.
Let me point out that we talked about this. If there was a new freebooter, or if there was a freebooter type mechanic that came out, if it was a new loop that eliminated other loops, were we going to care? The universal answer was no. I remind you of that. Okay? Just reminding you that you guys said that. If it was a replacement, then you guys would welcome it. If it was freebooters, then you guys would welcome it. Just saying. Okay? And Skaware says speed up old loops for more new loops, more loops. I mean, obviously that's going to happen over time. All right. I feel like, Jules, and we could talk about this another day, I kind of wish that they were a little bit more even-kiltered about it. They added loops for 6 months, and now they've got this one, which is going to help reduce at least 2 or 3 of them, but it just feels like they just beat on us and beat on us and beat on us and beat on us, and now we get this really, really good thing. But I feel like sentiment might be a little bit better if we kind of did it a little bit more even-kilter, right? I think.
Right. So for every 6 loops, they have to reduce 6 old loops.
Well, yeah, but don't wait and do 6 at a time. Let's do 1 or 2 and then reduce 1 or 2. Gain 1 or 2, then reduce 1 or 2. Like, I think that it stressed the community out to do 6 months of new loops before any relief came. Does that make sense? I think it was too much.
No, I agree, and I think that what we may find is that these efficiency bundles will either continue to improve. They'll visit the Voyager, Meridian, Botany Bay maybe later, and we may get even more common export credits and get to a point where we're pulling all of these, and we find that the 1 or 2 loops that we're going to reduce today may turn into 3 or 4 later.
Yeah. So
that may be their initial strategy, but I'm happy that it's going in this direction, and I'm happy that it's not locked behind a prime.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just a gimme. So that is the new loop update 65. No relief from the Zindi reptilian grind. No, Divine, it's too new. That's a new loop. All right, that's a brand new one. Okay. So yeah, and Venati, I agree. That's what happened with freebooters. They came out, said they wanted to reduce screen time, and then gave us more than ever to do. And that's what I'm talking about. I feel like if we do it a little bit more even kilter, it might be a little bit better. Okay. MDB says what primes are coming. I'm not entirely sure I'm allowed to tell you that yet, but it is only 3 hours till maintenance. Do you want me to tell you? Am I going to get in trouble? They're asking about the prime research.
There's a few.
There's a couple.
There's a few.
All right. Let me see what I can tell you about. We've talked about the war room. There's a couple new primes.
Looks like there's about 6.
Actually, there's 4.
Ooh.
But
Ignore me.
There's 2 skins.
And a couple skins. Why don't we wait for the Arcfall video so we're not in trouble?
I didn't say anything about skins.
All right, fine. Fine. 3 officers. Oh my God. Okay. I will tease you with this as we prepare to close the show. No, I'm just going to tease you with this as I close the show. Guys, there is an artifact coming that I am so freaking pumped for. Like, not even kidding. This artifact is super effing cool. Who said
And it's
yup?
pay only.
Who said yup? Was that Jules or Griffin?
That was Griffin. I am excited for it as well.
The artifact. I do not currently know how it will be earned. Okay. I know nothing about it. As a matter of fact, it wasn't scheduled for this month and they fit it in, but it is very, very cool tech. Jeef Boo says, is it take my money cool, DJs? I think it is. I think it's take my money cool. All right. That's right. It's the return of Armada assaults bases things.
Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding. Pud says it wasn't scheduled and they fit it in. It must be dollar bill time. Probably. I can see them selling this. And to be perfectly honest with you, I can see people buying it. 1,000%. Okay.
Oh, agreed. It's definitely worth looking at and seeing if you want to allocate a little money for it.
Yeah. I can see people wanting to spend on it. I think I might. But it's a very cool new tech. It's new technology. I don't mean new forbidden tech. I mean new technology, new code that is worked into the game. So it might not work at all. That's possible. But it is brand spanking new. And if it works, it's going to be very cool, I think.
Dare I say even fun?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Maybe. It would be, is it an exploit we can buy? Yes. Kind of. Kind of. I mean, kind of. That's as far as I'm going with it, but I think it's fascinating, and I'm really excited to see how it's going to happen. Okay, that's it. We're going to go see Captain Jesse. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to get ready to.
The big team are all assembled for their Arcfall pre-show that we have totally stepped on for the last 2 hours.
I am so sorry to Jesse, Iron Chef, Samo, Scribbler, and Morbid John. They are live and will carry you through the overnight. My name is UltimatDJz. Thanking you for wrong button. Thanking you for being here on this Arcfall Eve, the later than intended edition. We will be posting all of this into podcast form, and I hope players like Lord Sunday and Wolfwood appreciate the effort that was put into making this a good auditory podcast as well as a live Twitch video. All right.
They appreciate nothing.
I know. Never. Excuse me. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. The podcast will go up immediately. Congratulations to all of our extra bonus entry winners tonight. Beck had to leave, so we didn't get to play strip club or daycare, but we will be doing that very, very soon. I will try to get her back for your bonus entries. Very special thank you to Jules Verne and Blue Mandalorian for covering our data analysis tonight and giving you the charts before the arc actually even launches. You guys know what it is that you're going to be looking for. Thank you guys all so very, very much. My name is UltimatDJz. For Twitching Trek, Talking Trek, and Teaching Trek, I am your friendly neighborhood cat person, Sam. Meow for now. Love you, mean it. We'll see you in a few hours. Good night, everybody.